Well, we haven't had a quarterback controversy in a while. Let's try that again. Last time we won the Super Bowl was a backup quarterback, guys. Come on, I know what I'm doing here. Maybe Carson Wentz will hate not having players to throw to, and he'll request a trade. So we got to go backup quarterback right here. We got to. Listen, guys, I cannot trade this second-round pick to move up to get the best wide receiver in the draft because we don't have a third quarterback. Josh McCown just retired. Who's our third quarterback? What, are we supposed to just go out there without a third quarterback? I'm a stupid bitch, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Howie Roseman, you lost me. You lost me, Howie. You absolutely lost me. I'm off the deep end. I've given up. I understand nothing. New Belgium Juicy Haze IPA. Go check it out. I was going to come up here and scream and yell, but I'm just at such a loss for words. I was going to come up here and scream and yell, and then I started screaming and yelling. I'm at such a loss for words. I cannot fathom what just happened in the second round of the NFL draft. I can't believe I cannot believe Howie Roseman did this. I can't believe it. You're telling me this guy refused to use the second-round pick to trade up to draft the best wide receiver in the draft, to show his quarterback that he cares about him, to show his quarterback that he's got his back, that he's going to do everything he possibly can to give him a solidified number one target. Not only did he not do that, he turned around and used the second pick to draft a backup quarterback. Are you kidding me? Who in the world drafts a backup? Let's start there. Who in the hell drafts a backup quarterback in the second round? Somebody tell me. Bro. This is so disrespectful to Carson Wentz. This is so deceitful and backstabbing. This is unbelievable. You do not do this to your quarterback. You don't do this to your franchise quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger was 39 and a half years old, and the Steelers took a quarterback in the 5th round, and he tweeted out how upset he was about it. Quarterbacks don't like to have pressure behind them on the bench. You don't send a message to your quarterback. You don't even take a backup in the 4th round because you don't want your starting quarterback, who's only 27 years old, to feel threatened. And you want to tell the world how little you care about your franchise quarterback, that you're going to take one in the 2nd round? You're going to say, screw Carson Wentz. I don't care what he thinks. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care about anybody's feelings. We're taking a quarterback in the 2nd round. Now listen, if Carson Wentz wasn't that great, if he wasn't that good, if he wasn't a top 10, arguably top 5 quarterback in the NFL last year, took a bunch of sharp shopper employees to the freaking playoffs with strict talent and a shit defense, if he wasn't a talent that he is and you did this, we'd be like, meh. If he was a Ryan Tannehill, if he was a Gardner Minshew, you know what I mean? If he was a guy that had moments, but you were like, I don't really know. That'd be one thing to do this. But the fact of the matter here is that there was things that we need desperately on this football team. We need more wide receivers. I didn't think Howie would go 2 wide receivers in a row. I thought that would be kind of crazy, thinking, we need safety, linebacker, defensive back, defensive end. He's not going to go 2 wide receivers in a row. That would be nuts. But this is way crazier than that. You could have at least taken a 2nd wide receiver. Carson Wentz needs to request a trade. That's it. This is the point I'm at. Carson Wentz needs to request a trade. This is inexcusable disrespect for your franchise quarterback. This is not excusable. This is not okay. The entire country, the entire league is laughing at us. Nobody does this. They're on ESPN like, you know what? If Booger McFarland insulted your intelligence. Booger freaking McFarland said this is a bonehead move. Booger McFarland doesn't know anything. It's disrespectful. It's backstabbing. It's seething. It's slimy. It's grimy. This is bad business. This is not what you do when you're the GM of a National Football League team. You do not do this to your quarterback who's on a franchise contract. You don't do it. Not only that, we need a safety. We still need corners. We could use defensive line help. We could use a defensive end. I would have taken an offensive lineman at this point. You can always improve your team. There's lots of areas. I wouldn't have been mad at a second running back to back up Miles Sanders because I'm not completely sold on Boston Scott. Or you could have a 3 running back rotation. I really don't care. You draft a backup quarterback in the second round? I'm sick. I'm sick to my stomach. I just went over this in my head like 5 times, and every time I say it, it doesn't sound like it would act. It doesn't sound real every time I say it. There's no way this actually just happened. There's no way. And when the haters are on Twitter like, well, he's injury prone, you know? You always need a backup. He's injury prone. Yeah, not in the second round, bro. There's things the team needed. You don't draft a backup quarterback in the second round. Also, you can't play the game expecting your quarterback to get hurt. If you think your quarterback is going to get hurt, then you just got to move on from that quarterback. If that's what you think of Carson Wentz, then you got to let him go somewhere else. You can't be out here drafting backups in the second round because you think he's getting hurt. This is heartless by Howie Roseman. This is disrespectful. You're going to lose your team because of this. Your team is not going to respect you when you backstab people like this. Blatantly, on TV in front of them. Your team's not going to respect you. Last thing I'm going to say. Howie Roseman and Elton Brand are very similar. Elton Brand thinks that you can win basketball games with 2 centers on the floor, 3 forwards, no point guard, and no shooting guard, no real guards whatsoever on the team. You can have a point forward playing full-time point guard. You can have a small forward playing shooting guard. You can have a power forward and small forward. Elton Brand thinks you can win basketball without shooting guards and point guards. Howie Roseman seems to think you can win football games with 3 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, and no wide receivers. I like Jalen Reagor, but you guys are telling me you're going to send Carson out there with a practice squad wide receiver and a rookie wide receiver, and you had a chance to give him another piece, and you went behind his back and drafted another quarterback. Howie Roseman, you make me sick. I'm done with this. This is an absolute joke. This is embarrassing. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I could not have imagined a worse NFL draft than this. This is by far the worst thing I've seen a GM do in an NFL draft. And I'm talking worse than Chip Kelly. I'm talking worse than the surprise trading Nick Foles for Sam Bradford for no fucking reason whatsoever. I'm beyond that. This is the worst thing that anyone's ever done in an NFL draft in Philadelphia Eagles history. I'm done.